Whether you're filming on iPhone or IMAX, if you're about to make a movie at the World Expo here in Japan, or for a Rolling Stone featured band about to go live on stage, but only have one camera and still want to make an impact, we're going to share our cinema making crash course we used that could be the game changer you need on your next film or story. We'll take you behind the scenes with our Filmmaker Pass here at the Expo and share easy, Oscar-winning advice from the hit musical La La Land, because even though it was super rushed, our actual shots are already featured on their fan page with thousands of followers in just one day. But before we dive in, you should probably know the World Expo in Osaka can be a little overwhelming. It's a massive, beautiful complex with lots of international pavilions and different cultural experiences, technological displays, huge nature-infused architecture all the way around the facility. It's definitely too much to take in just one day. But we barely got to enjoy it because as soon as we got there, we were handed backstage passes and escorted to the back of the Columbia Pavilion, where we met the event staff and some of the performers to get briefed on the event we were about to shoot. But the event staff that was here was asking for entire moments to be captured live. Now, I'm just one guy with one camera, so for you as a filmmaker or storyteller, do you really want to shoot this flat as one camera angle all the way in the back of the room? But since we only had 30 minutes before the show starts, we still needed to rush on set and do location scouting, do a few camera tests, scope out the scene, all before they call lights, camera, action. And don't worry, we'll share the entire checklist we talk about in our free blockbuster filmmaking video in the links below, so you can check that out later. But we've only got 30 minutes before go time, so here's 3 quick checkpoints for your location scout. Sight, sound, and setup. Sight. How does the stage look from any given angle? And we'll talk more about angles and shot design later in the video. Sound. What kind of reverb or room tone is happening in the space? Setup. How much can I actually move around once the audience is in the room? But that's when inspiration strikes with the question, could we even go on stage to get better shots of the band? This would open up an entire world of options for camera angles. But maybe you're thinking, why would they let some random guy on stage versus World Expo staff? Well, let's take a look at the musical hit La La Land, which was considered super low budget compared to other Hollywood movies that year. And the filmmaker had a vision to open the film on an off-ramp highway with singing and dancing overlooking the Los Angeles skyline. This guy was a fresh, 32-year-old director making his second major feature. But guess what? They actually asked and got permission, which gave them 6 hours of rehearsal time to plan out the shots, 2 full days to actually shoot the highway sequence, and even practicing all of their movement off location beforehand with an iPhone. So as soon as rehearsal's over, we rush over to the band to say, hey, can we come on stage? And the band, without hesitation, says, heck yes. The lead singer told the whole band I'd be up there with them, shared his favorite angles and where's the best places to stand, and even got the Osaka Expo staff helping us get on and off the stage. So for your next big movie, do yourself a favor. Go location scouting, check your shots, and don't be afraid to ask for something you need. It only takes one yes to make a world of difference on your next film or story. And if this has been helpful or inspirational so far, go ahead and clap the like button so we can reach other filmmakers, storytellers, and new friends like you. But really, what if it's just one of you, one camera, and just one chance to capture all of this, especially if you're rushing? Brace yourself, because we're about to get super nerdy with a crash course in coverage, camera angles, and shot progression. Coverage is just the variety of shots you film to build and create moments in your story. Typically, having more shot options means having more coverage, kind of like an umbrella in the rain. You might only need one, but having more definitely can make things easier. For example, in La La Land, sometimes you only need to get a shot from one angle, also known as filming simple coverage. Maybe that one special angle is enough to capture just the right moment for your story. But having more coverage just means shooting more types of angles and shot variety. For example, 3 different angles, shooting from the front, left, and right side. This also embraces the 30-degree rule, or separating your camera angles at least 30 degrees or more between setups. This gives you more visual variety and much smoother continuity when you're editing. But even 3 camera angles with the same framing could still get pretty boring, right? That's where shot size and shot progression comes in. Imagine being at a musical concert live and in person. A view from the back feels very different. You're taking in the overall spectacle of the production, the sights, the sounds, and the way that the whole stadium feels in the room, versus being in the middle and watching some things on stage and some things on the projection screen to the side, versus being up close and personal with the musicians and feeling and seeing everything much more intimately in the front row. In the same way, the shot size and the shot progression changes the way you feel as an audience. For example, in La La Land, we have a more natural progression of shots, going from wide, medium, to close. It takes us from the overall scene and draws us in more closely and intimately to the character. But the opposite progression of shots can work just as well, starting with something close and creating a bit of intrigue as we open up the scene more emotionally. We start out absorbed in the music and in the frenzy of emotion before we reveal the characters talking about it at the table, and it sets a completely different frame for the opening of the scene. So let's go back to the Osaka Expo and see how film theory helps us plan this shoot. We'll be shooting center stage from the back of the house and the front of the house, also from left and right using the 30-degree rule to give us the most variety. We'll use wide, medium, and close to give us the most options for shot progression, and because we asked for it, be able to shoot the same types of angles on stage to give one person with one camera 15 different angle setups before we've even started shooting. But of course, even after all this crazy filming was done, they still wanted all of these moments prepared in a press kit on site within the next hour. So let's jump into the editing timeline and see how this footage turned out. We'll take one hero shot with audio synced up from our shotgun mic on camera, surround it with a couple other shots that we already have visual variety from our shooting plan, and extend the audio so it has a sense of audio continuity, and all of a sudden you have a single camera shoot creating a montage video like this. But let's take a look at a different montage we gave them using the same tricks and different shots and a different shot progression, going from close, medium to wide, to see how that opens things up and changes the way that the hero shot feels, which is an OTS, an over the shoulder of the 2 dancers dancing on stage in front of the audience. You can see how this version opens things up on stage at just the right time and creates a totally different sense of energy in the frame for the OTS when the dancers are surrounded by the crowd. And all of this is done with framing and shot progression. As an audience member, we don't really think about this stuff, and weird rules like film theory actually work. They give us framework and guidelines when we need it, whether it's for making movies, independent filmmaking, or even freelance film gigs shot with an iPhone. But whether you're making movies at the Expo or your next big blockbuster, you're gonna wanna watch this video and take your cinematic game to the next level.